I'm Rob Chapman.
And I'm the captain.
You're in Andertons. Welcome.
Welcome.
To our abode.
To the home of
Tone.
peace and harmony and absolutely no band tension whatsoever.
Stay a while, why don't you? Maybe peruse some of these new Gibson guitars.
Why not? Because these aren't old, Rob.
These are new, Rob.
These are modern, Rob. Hey, how do Gibson take a 60 million year old design that everybody knows and loves and do something modern to it whilst keeping its old traditions and not allowing everybody to jump up and down and go, I hate you for changing anything, Gibson?
I don't know, that's a big ask, Lee. How do they
ask.
take a 16 million year old design
Well,
and make it better?
I guess, really, they don't change anything.
Right.
Is the truth. Or they change like teeny bits.
Right.
So the first thing that becomes immediately apparent when you open the cases of these guitars
Is it purple?
is the colours are a little bit more contemporary.
They're a bit more power, Batman.
Yeah. Did I say these are called the Gibson Modern Les Paul Standard?
Right.
So that's the official word for it, the Gibson Modern.
And they're model
Les Paul
superheroes.
Standard.
This is the Batman, this is the Spider-Man.
And this is the Captain America.
I knew you were going to say that. I would have put money on you saying that.
Literally, brain was going, think of a blue superhero. And I thought of one. Anyway, so yeah, it is a challenge, isn't it? Because as soon as Gibson do anything like go, you know, wider fretboards or all access neck joints.
Or tuners that do it themselves.
Yeah, it's like. So you have to basically, Gibson must be going, what do we do? So yeah, there's really a couple of tweaks that sort of make this modern. So the first thing when you get the case open is the colours are a little bit more contemporary. Rory, by the power of magic and probably Final Cut Pro, will display all the different colours on the screen now. Anyway, so apart from the colours and the schools and the aqueducts and the roads.
I just got the tenuous Monty Python link. What else have the Romans done for us?
So these are heavily chambered Les Pauls. So when you pick one up, the one I'm holding I think is 7.4 pounds. So
They're really light. They're really light.
So these are actually chambered. So when we talk about weight relief and stuff like that, again, maybe Rory can find a picture of what a chambered Les Paul looks like inside. But there's more air than wood inside this guitar.
Yeah.
That's the idea of chambered.
I love the back of the headstock now. I love the little Gibson logo they've got on it.
That is the other major change on these guitars, which...
It's brilliant brandingly. Just where it says Gibson Custom right on the back of the headstock where you want it to be.
Let's get a close-up of what Gibson are calling the Apex Volute. Let me put it against
I think it's the most
my
powerful.
shirt.
I think it's the most powerful and subtle branding change Gibson have made.
So, what's a volute, Rob? Can you tell us what a volute is?
It's the area at the back of the neck that reinforces and strengthens the neck joint.
That's right. Because on a guitar, on a Les Paul, in fact on a lot of guitars, but the Les Paul is probably a particularly good example of where the neck joint is not as strong as perhaps it could be. Yeah, so if you look at a normal Les Paul standard, and then bear in mind that underneath the truss rod cover where the truss rod goes, quite a chunk of wood is routed out to give you access to the truss rod. What you realise is there's not actually a great deal of wood left, you know, to effectively keep the headstock on. That is its job, isn't it, really? And whilst I've said before many a time on camera that, you know, the idea that every single Gibson guitar's headstock breaks off, you know, is utter fantasy. You do run the risk with a Les Paul that if it takes a bang, either, you know, from falling over or sometimes even just a bang in transit, you will get a neck break, a headstock break.
Just be careful when you play it and put it in a case.
Well, I don't even think be careful when just don't drop it.
Don't do anything like Phil X would do, where you throw it around on your neck or anything, you know.
And even then, you know, whatever. There's a whole other discussion. But of course, one of the things that the other guitar manufacturers have done, and violin manufacturers and things like that, is they add what is called a volute. Now, this isn't really an addition in the sense of this isn't like an extra piece of wood glued on.
This is routed out, isn't it?
Yeah, this is simply where they've reprogrammed the CNC machine to say, could you just keep a bit more wood, basically, over the neck joint. So now, currently, I've only seen this on the Les Paul Modern and the Les Paul Double Cut from the custom shop. And I suspect that what Gibson are doing is putting sort of a toe in the water with a guitar that they can make in really small quantities to just go, let's see what they say. And if everybody goes, well, it's not 958 Les Paul, you know, heritage, blasphemy, burn them, then I suspect Gibson can quite quickly go, okay, fine, we'll discontinue that, and we haven't made 10 million guitars with it
Funny
on.
you should say tone water, because it does look like the bottom of a boat.
I was going to say, it looks like the imprint. If you pulled your pants down and sat in the snow, I think that's the imprint that your bottom would make.
How many times have you done that, Lee?
Depends what I ate the night before.
I remember the last time I saw you pull your pants down, it was in a castle. That's how British we are.
I kept my pants on, by the way. I just so.
No, pants American, not pants English.
Yes, underpants.
Yeah,
I kept on. So the Apex kind of volute is currently only on Custom Shop. But if you all, thumbs up in this video and go, that's a brilliant idea, Gibson, well done, it stands to reason that you'll start to see this Apex design.
I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
It resolves the problem. It looks kind of cool. And I love that they put the branding there.
So you wouldn't do it on, of course, if you're trying to make a tribute guitar to the 1950s or whatever, you wouldn't do it. But I think on a modern Les Paul, whether it's a studio or a standard or whatever, I think this is for me, this is good.
Yes.
I would do it.
Do you know, I was just thinking, am I having a hot flush? And then I looked across and you're beginning to perspire slightly as well. So it isn't just me, and it is quite warm in this room.
I think it's the sexual tension coming from these guitars.
Blazing Gibson goddesses on our laps is what it is.
Burstbucker 2 and 3 on these guitars, so a little bit more pokey than you might get from a traditional Les Paul.
Do some tones, Lee. Do some tones.
Yeah, let's do tones. Let's do clean tones through an Egnater tweaker, just because, you guys moan when we don't change the amps every other video, so we're changing the amps every other video.
That's not why I changed my amp.
Why do you change your amp?
I just wanted to play Boogie for a bit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So just reverb is the only pedal I've got on here. I'm loving my latest discovery of how to make a humbucker just sound more like a single coil with no wizardry whatsoever.
You just turn it down slightly.
Amazing. If only I'd discovered that years ago. Both pickups together. And just the treble pickup. With some distortion, courtesy of the Plimsoll from Fulltone.
Purple.
So, look, it looks like a Les Paul, it plays like a Les Paul, and it sounds like a Les Paul. It's just a lot lighter with a reinforced neck joint and a crazy colour. Well, like a funky colour.
A crazy colour.
A crazy funky colour.
Yeah.
So that's it. Modern Les Paul.
I think they're really cool. I'm excited to.
Nice flame
blue all over.
tops. Yeah, really, really blue. Oh, blue back as well.
Yeah, blue back and sides and top and front and everything.
I do like that little custom shop thing they use on the back of the toggle switch, don't you?
I think it's
a little badge of honour.
Yeah, I think
a little badge of look at me. I'm really expensive.
Yeah, but how much expensive?
Oh, thick end of $4 grand.
Really?
Oh yeah, like really expensive. The thick end of £4,000 means no change out of £4,000 rather than £4,000 and a lot more.
Because I thought Lee meant like 4,700 quid, and I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's quite a lot.
They're £3,899, but the thick end of £4,000 sounds so much cooler.
Right, there you go. Wow.
Is that? Let's be fair. Everything's gone up quite a lot in England Shire since we made the wondrous decision to. Anyway, so relatively speaking, it's pretty much. It's almost, I know this sounds awful, but it's almost now sort of like that's about as low as anything out the Gibson custom shop's going to cost you nowadays.
Fair play, to be honest. You know, if it's a custom shop guitar, takes hours, people make them.
Nitrocellulose finish.
Why not be that way?
It's not, these are not inexpensive guitars to make.
I guess it comes with the sexy case as well.
It comes with actually the same case that you do get with like a historic Les Paul.
Nice.
So it's the brown leather case, but it's the sort of the mottled brown. In fact, why don't we just show you? As if by the power of magic.
Well, there you go.
That's amazing.
That was pretty cool.
That was amazing.
Bit of special magic. Does that mean that I'm Rob Chapman?
It certainly does, and I've been the captain.
Take it easy.
Happy days.
See you later.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Andertons Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.